Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. New tonight, police in Waterberry are searching for a suspect who shot and killed a beloved father.
It happened overnight at an event rental hall and left one family fractured. Fox 61's Matt Karen is in Waterberry after speaking with the family.
Well, this all happened just after 1 o'clock this morning here at the Southbury event space, which is in a shopping plaza near Wolcott Street and Sharon Road. It was here where shots were fired, wounding 2 women and killing a man.
My body's just kind of numb right now. I'm lost for words.
Just hours after losing her husband, Chantel Morris musters the courage to recall the terror.
I see one of the ladies that was there. She ran off and fell. So I ran towards the door because I know my husband was in that direction too. When I ran there, I see my husband got blood all over his shirt.
It happened here at the Southbury private event rental hall. There were 2 parties inside, including an event celebrating Mother's Day. There was an argument over the music. 29-year-old Shaquille Devin Morris catered the event.
He was the cook. Everybody knows he can cook really well. So I guess he made the food. He was standing around, and the guy from the other side of the club just opened fire.
The bullets struck Morris along with a 39 and 44-year-old woman.
There is too many guns in Waterbury, just ridiculous.
The women survived. Morris, who initially got up and was responsive, took a turn for the worst.
He was rushed to the hospital by friends that was here because the ambulance never showed up in time to bring him there.
Police say people at both parties knew each other.
Honestly, I just feel like Waterbury is just getting worse and worse.
As the homicide investigation continues, so too does the life of a family now torn apart by gun violence.
Why would they do that? When am I going home and tell my baby? My daughter literally can't function without her father. I'm hurting for my babies more than I'm hurting for myself.
Family members describe Shaquille Morris as a great husband and father who was always there for people. This is Waterbury's 5th homicide of the year. So far, no arrests have been made. Reporting in Waterbury, Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Well, a man accused of kidnapping a woman in Southbury appeared in court today. Brian Lambert is accused of forcibly pushing a woman into his car and driving off on Friday. A witness called 911 after they reported seeing a man drag a woman through a wooded area and then forcing her into a car. They were able to give dispatchers a description and a license plate number. Officers tracked the car down to Southford Falls State Park. Lambert is being held on a $5 million bond tonight.
Turning to the weather now, a nice start to the week. Beautiful out there.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rach, more on tap?
Yeah, we got another day, even warmer, heading into tomorrow. 68 degrees currently in Hartford. The New Haven area is in the low 60s. It's brighter right now in Hartford than it is right now towards the shoreline. And we are going to see more clouds continue to push from west to east as we head through the early evening tonight. This is associated with a warm front lifting through the area. And following it, it will be warmer tomorrow with winds more out of the south. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s to around 70, although it is cooler in Groton right now in the upper 50s. Temperatures tonight by the news at 11 are in the upper 50s, and we'll see overnight lows near 50 as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Check this out, bright, a bit breezy with temperatures climbing into the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees as we head through the afternoon. However, along the Connecticut shoreline, because the water temperature is still in the upper 50s right now, any wind coming out of the south will chill the air just a little bit. So at the beaches, we're looking at highs that'll be closer to 70 instead of closer to 80. But still, a beautiful day inland shoreline wherever you are. Heading into Wednesday, though, we'll see more clouds. Notice cooler temperatures and the chance for a couple of showers, and it may be even wetter on Thursday. We'll take a closer look at those changes coming up in just a bit, guys.
Thank you, Rachel. An update tonight on campus protests in Connecticut. On Friday, students at Trinity took down their encampment. The Board of Trustees agreed to discuss divesting at their next meeting.
And in Middletown, Wesleyan University students voted over the weekend to pass a referendum on divestment, disclosure, academic boycott, and amnesty. Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolfhorst spoke with student organizers and has the story from Wesleyan.
More than 2 weeks since students here set up camp, and the Wesleyan Liberated Zone is the last remaining college encampment in Connecticut.
Staying here and staying steadfast is really the least we can do for Palestinians who have asked and called upon us to divest.
Campus protests spread across the U.S. and the world, students calling on their universities to disclose and divest.
We have alumni support, we have graduation coming up, we have people who are committed to being here until we get divestment.
Organizers say 150 tents remain here at Wesleyan, students standing strong, wanting to show support for people in Gaza.
We've been here 15 days, all in solidarity with the Palestinian people who are undergoing some of the most horrific things we've seen happen to anyone.
And that solidarity turning into action over the weekend as Wesleyan students passed a referendum on divestment, disclosure, academic boycott, and amnesty.
We had more students than anyone on the WSA has ever witnessed vote on a referendum for divestment, and it was overwhelmingly support.
While Raudebush says the student referendum itself doesn't hold that much power, they believe it sends a message to the university.
It was mostly a way of showing the board of trustees that we have mass support.
They say students are in ongoing talks and negotiations with representatives from the board of trustees and will remain until the school commits to a process of divestment.
We're not going to move, and we're going to keep fighting until we get divestment.
Fox 61 reached out to Wesleyan University for comment, but did not hear back. Reporting in Middletown, Emma Wolfhorst, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Emma, thank you. More UConn students in court today and tomorrow after being arrested in their encampment for divestment. In total, 24 students and one alumnus were taken into custody. Police saying those protesters refused to take their tents down. Fellow students and staff have stood outside court each day to show their support. UConn says it won't comment on the court proceedings, and we do not know the identities or charges. No cameras are allowed inside. Two current faculty members did tell Fox 61 the state's attorney working with UConn has put together a deal for the students, which includes donating to the university's Center for Human Rights. That's the same center they have called out for not speaking against the IDF's actions in Gaza.
Connecticut police are launching the annual Click It or Ticket campaign. Now through June 2nd, police will step up patrols. They're reminding drivers to buckle up or face a fine. Connecticut law requires all drivers and passengers wear seatbelts. In 2021, 75 people, drivers and passengers who weren't wearing a seatbelt, were killed in crashes in our state.
Well, today, state housing officials are celebrating another affordable housing complex being completed and filled. This complex in Orange is part of a state-funded initiative to bring 16 new affordable properties to Connecticut. Housing leaders say opening a complex in a smaller city like Orange is a step in the right direction in providing more affordable options to residents.
Like many of the states in our region and our country, is experiencing a historic housing shortage. One that transcends town lines and income brackets. Thankfully, we have the unwavering support of our governor, who's here today, who has prioritized the creation of housing for all.
Now, the housing project was announced in 2021. It's using $49 million in state funding to open more than a dozen affordable housing complexes across Connecticut.
Indeed, the job search company that operates out of Connecticut is laying off about 1,000 workers. In the internal announcement today, the CEO said they're making the cuts to, quote, simplify the organization. Last year, they reduced jobs across the world, but they say this time it's going to be mostly here in the U.S., although it's unclear how many jobs in Connecticut are impacted. Back in 2017, Indeed expanded in Stamford, adding jobs, and it's got millions of dollars worth of loans and tax breaks from the state.
Well, the key witness in the trial of former President Donald Trump took the stand today.
Michael Cohen's Trump's former attorney and fixer who could link Trump to illegal record keeping. Fox's Connor Hansen has more from New York.
One of the most highly anticipated moments of former President Donald Trump's criminal hush money trial is here. Trump's ex-attorney Michael Cohen takes the stand. Prosecutors questioned Cohen about his work for Trump during the 2016 campaign to keep negative stories out of the press. That included a $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels.
Got no evidence, and I'm innocent.
Cohen testified that Trump directed him to stop Stormy's alleged affair story from getting out, or at least be delayed until after the election, suggesting that was Trump's sole motivation, not to keep it from his family.
Ultimately, Michael Cohen was involved with these deals. Donald Trump was his boss. So there's no question about the fact that these deals occurred.
Because of his gag order, Trump is barred from speaking about Cohen publicly. But others have suggested the jury could have trouble believing his testimony.
Of course, Michael Cohen is literally a convicted liar, so it's a huge risk for the prosecution to put him on.
Several Republican lawmakers vying for Trump's vice president spot sat in on court to support Trump and to denounce the trial.
Does any reasonable, sensible person believe anything that Michael Cohen says? I don't think that they should, and I actually think that his testimony is going to hurt with any reasonable juror.
Tuesday, Trump will reportedly attend a high-dollar fundraiser in New York hosted by several billionaires, including the owner of the New York Jets. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.